Hello, this is the reading for the witch's year and the Hallows season for the sign of Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign. This is going to be a general reading and then a love reading and then ending with some things that need to be released over this Hallows season. These readings are in celebration of the new YouTube channel, Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings, that I will be doing monthly and mid-monthly for each of the signs through the Zodiac Tarot readings. And some cards are jumping, so we'll jump into it. Here we have a card of Gemini already. So let's go ahead and see what is going on for the sign of Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. General reading. Let's see, subconscious energy, the Knight of Wands. So you could have somebody in your mind who is an in and out kind of person. This person could be a Sagittarius, or they could be an Aries or Leo, or just exhibit those kind of energies of someone who's fun and feisty and kind of makes you fall for them, but they're hard to pin down. So this is the subconscious energy of Gemini, and it could really be you wanting to travel, have fun, be a little lighthearted about things. So let's see what we are getting into here. Alright, so I'm seeing some social difficulties here that's going on that might have you feeling very isolated, Gemini. I'm seeing the Three of Swords here, which can be some heartbreak and just feeling disconnected from those. I see a big message of you feeling disconnected, from your local community, which could be a big thing for you because you rule that. This is your card of Mercury, which is connected to the sign of Gemini, the Magician. So you really want to be involved when it comes to situations, with friends and like cousins and just neighbors, and you just like to know what's going on. You like to be involved in the social scene. But I'm seeing some things going on here, some harsh words. You have the Five of Swords as well, and the Page of Swords. So there could be another air sign that you're having some difficulties with, who could be a Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini as well. I also see a Queen of Pentacles here, who can be an earth sign. Could be a Virgo. There's a strong Virgo connection. And gender doesn't matter for the cards. It could be, just because it's the Queen, it could be any gender. But yeah, it could be a Virgo, definitely, or perhaps a Capricorn or Taurus. And then you also have a Page of Cups, who could be a Scorpio, particularly if not a Cancer or a Pisces. So you just have people everywhere, but it looks like you're having a hard time really communicating your truth. I feel like you're writing things down. It's like you're writing things and you're thinking about what you want to say, but then you're not sending that text because it's just been so awful lately. And then when you do go ahead and communicate and send it, it's like everybody's ready to respond and point out what's wrong and what's inadequate about this. There could be some situations where there's been third parties involved, or where you've picked sides. So there could be some people that are upset about who you've decided to befriend in a certain situation. There could be situations where you felt lonely, and so you decided to go ahead and start a relationship with one person, but then you had another person also that you had begun a relationship with, and so there is some fighting and bickering and a lot of mistrust that's going on, and it just seems like it's very hard for you to clear that up, because when you decide, okay, let me clear this up and do an honest speaking on what happened, it's things get misconstrued. And you have two pages here, so it could be with some young people too that you have misunderstandings, or it could just get to the point that it's kind of getting immature in a way, where you're like, oh my goodness, I'm trying to say what's on my mind, and then things get emotional, or I'm trying to speak from the heart, but then I start analyzing the situation and we all just start arguing, and I feel like you could be a little bit of living in the dream world too, where part of you is just like, oh, can't we just get past this? Can't we just forget about it and go on to this daydreamy side of things? So I can definitely see that others around you might really want to see some loyalty. They might really want to see you coming through and showing that if there have been misunderstandings, Gemini, that are on your side of things, others really need to hear the truth. They really do need you to show it consistently, not just for that flash of a moment, but thoroughly. I feel like others do really want to reach you. They don't want you to feel isolated and alone. And I feel like that's the fear here of why you keep going in this circle and keeping all different sides going, is because you're so afraid of being alone. but it's really actually creating distance with others, because others feel as if you're kind of playing with them a bit, and that you're not being honest about things, and that one minute you're very harsh and critical, and the next minute there's some emotional, maybe manipulation that's going on. Now this reading can go both ways, so you could also be feeling this way about someone else and these other people in your life, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So, and I think it is going on both ways. I definitely think it's happening on both sides of things. So let's go ahead and pull some oracles on this. This is just the overall general reading of what you're working on. So general reading through the Hallows season and over this next year for sign of Gemini. All right, yes. Okay, definitely. So first card out is forgiveness. Forgiveness, reducing the burden. So everybody's not letting this go. There's not full truth being heard and spoken, and this is something that could really carry on for a long time, for the next few months and things, if it's not cleared up. So really it's asking you to have forgiveness, and this is forgiveness for yourself and others too. You know, we have to forgive ourselves in order to admit when we have been a little off, or when our decision was wonky, or, you know, just different things like that. And part of why it's hard is because you have ghost, which is regret. You know, so you might get caught up in that, you know, caught up in this emotional feeling of all of this regret of what's happened. And then, you know, it could be like that part where part of you is on attack and part of you is feeling the victim of things, and part of you was the one who said something wrong, and part of it was the other person who did something wrong. And it's like you can't balance those. So it's saying that forgiveness is needed for both you and the other person, and regrets need to be cleared out but spoken about honestly. And you have the Mummy, which is change. So the need to heal, right? Kind of literally bandage up everything that's happened, and allow yourself and allow the other person to change and transform, and see what this situation is really trying to be, and what's the best case scenario. You know, we see the flower blooming there of what could occur. All right, so let's take a further look into your love life, Gemini. Sorry, that was a little intense there, but can be good to see some validation that you're going through that. So the love life of the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for this upcoming month and through this witch's year. Messages for the love life of the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Here we go. Get a lot of cards here, so we'll see how many are 8 of them. Oh, every single sign has got the King of Swords, so I don't know what Aquarius is up to. What are you up to, Aquarius? Everyone's having these talks with these air signs over here. All right, and your subconscious card for love, Gemini, is the Three of Hazards, which is the Three of Pentacles. This is the zombie tarot. 'Tis the season. So you are wanting to have like a stable relationship when it comes to your love life, Gemini. I see the struggle, like you're tired of not feeling included with others, and yet again you have this energy of third parties coming up and needing to find justice with that. And you know, I feel like there's a big confusion over who is friends and who is lovers that is happening there. I definitely see that, you know, part of the universe and yourself is trying to give you self-love and grant you your wishes and dreams, but then part of you is still really stuck in your vices a lot. And I feel like it's very hard for you to get out of third-party situations. It's almost like it's a little hard to be faithful for some of you, Sun, Moon, and Rising Geminis. Some of you might just keep being attracted to people who are not being faithful. Your subconscious energy from the general reading was the Knight of Wands, who can be a bit of a player. So I see that Five of Wands here. It's really hard for you to disengage once competition has been there. So you might find yourself, I see you trying to decide, like, do I even want this? Like, do I even want to keep engaging in these third-party situations or fighting for this person? Like, do I even want this person? But then on the other side, it's like, that you could go out and actually have a solid relationship, and that you do really want, you want a really true and honest partner. I feel like you want someone who is reliable and stable and faithful, and that you do want like a monogamous relationship. But there's just so much part curiosity, part, looking at what your friends got going on over there, caught up in the social scene and the dating scene, Gemini. So, and again, this could be you, Gemini, is being drawn to people who have this energy. But I definitely see, you know, if you're dealing with fire signs at this time, Gemini, or even strong earth signs of Virgo or Capricorn, if you're in the relationship with them, there's a lot of work to do. And if you are just dating and thinking about it over the next month or so, these are not really good choices for you at this time. I feel like there is a completely new path for you to look at that can lead you to much more emotional fulfillment. It's like you know what you want. You definitely know what you want, and you are actually much better geared towards another air sign, particularly a Libra, but also an Aquarius, and it could be a Gemini. I'm feeling strong Aquarius and Libra here. Even a water sign would be a better choice for you at this time than the fire signs and the Capricorn or Virgo. Yeah, so let's see what else is going on here with your oracle cards, love, energy, and messages for the signs of Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising for the next month of this Hallows season and over the next, which is your love messages for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Free will, and this Two of Wands is actually the free will card. So no longer feeling entangled. I know for Geminis it's really hard if everyone else is going crazy. You feel like, well, I'm just responding, I'm just reacting, like what can you expect of me? You know, there's all of this going on. Look at this, just like, you know, it could be some mean girl stuff going on, it could be some tough dating stuff going on. There could be something involved with the workplace. So maybe you're feeling a lack of confidence in the workplace when you see how other people date or how they are with their partners, or you know, maybe afraid of what's going on with your partner, with other people at work and who they're hanging around, or wherever is their day-to-day. So whether that's school or work or, you know, whatever they're doing in their day-to-day. But this is saying free will. So it is reminding you that, you know, you might feel, for those of you who are dealing with partners who have some kind of addictions and things, you might feel like, well, you know, this is the way they are. It's not their fault. It's not their fault. But this is like, remember, somewhere within that, there is free will that's happening, and you still are empowered, Gemini, to make your decisions, because I do see happiness for you, and I do see that there is, you know, possibly someone that you friend zoned who could be a really good partner here, and bring you an even balanced relationship. So this is sovereignty, independence, and free spirit. So don't be afraid to go it alone. You don't have to suffer these intense relationships just because of everyone else being crazy around you. You got the monster within. Aries also got this card. So if you have Gemini and Aries in your chart, this is an especially important message. So this is internal struggle, personal challenges, and wanting to improve. So again, you really do want to become a good partner. For those of you who have had problems with being faithful, and those of you who just can't decide who you want to date and things, you know, the Justice card shows it's possible. Look at, they're balancing the head and the heart though, which is important for Gemini, right? To get that balance there. So work on yourself, and again, you had the card about letting go of regret and having forgiveness for yourself. So allowing yourself to be human, but dealing with these things as well, Gemini. Then there's thirst, craving, compulsion, and obsession. So you might be quite obsessed with somebody in your, you know, you might be too obsessive about your partner and their daily habits. You might be too obsessed, if you're in the dating field, about what is going on with other people. How are they dating? What is the person who you went on a few dates with? What are they doing now? Have they moved on? But I feel like there's so many of them that you're obsessing over that it's hard to keep up with for those of you who are dating. So this is about, you know, you can get these, your cravings filled. You have the wishing card. You can get what you want, but it comes out of free will and self-love, Gemini, and allowing others to also have their free will and have their self-love too. All right, so now let's go ahead. That was the love portion. Let's go ahead and see what the sign of Gemini needs to release this hallowed season. We're using the Deviant Moon Tarot for this. Yes, what does the sign of Gemini need to release this hallowed season? Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what do they need to release? Okay, that one was going to come out too. All right. Okay, we have a lot of reversals here. All right, and you know what that is? That's that Knight of Wands. So for those of you who are dating, those of you, the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, these people that you've been dating who are inconsistent, who are not about that life, they're not about committing, they're, you know, there's many terms like we call them fuckboys or whatever's going on. This could also be that own internal side of yourself too. So whatever has been ruining your commitment to things, whatever has been ruining your just able to enjoy, you know, because you have the World card here, success, you know, happiness, fulfillment, you know, being seen. So this is where you're included, you're seen, you're successful. But it's saying in order to reach that, there's the need to let go of, there's the need to let go of, you know, these types of people who, you know, literally aren't going anywhere. The same cycle over and over and over, or release those qualities within yourself. But after that, we do have happiness and success. So let go of that fear of success, and don't let there be too many distractions for yourself that are keeping you from getting that. So that could be the thing. Sometimes we distract ourselves because we're afraid of that partnership. We're afraid of that success in our career. And so we let ourselves get distracted by people that we know will kind of pull us backwards a bit. And so let them go and let yourself go ahead and get that success, Gemini. All right, thank you for watching. I'm going to be back in a few moments with a live feed for the sign of Cancer.